What you're accused of is a cute line of questioning that's going nowhere.
Well, it's going somewhere, which is why you're not answering the question. Was it true that he was accused of lying by the president's legal team?
I'm not familiar to. You'd have to give me the context.
Well, it's right
of that
here.
article,
You want to look at the statement from President
anybody
Trump's
can blow
legal
up
team?
a quote and claim it says something, and that's what you're doing in a little stunt.
Secretary Hegseth, what I'm really concerned about is you purport to have unfaltering loyalty to President Trump.
This moment comes from a House Armed Services Committee hearing where Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is being questioned on the Pentagon's budget and the war in Iran. Representative Jason Crow shifts the focus to one of Hegseth's close advisors, asking direct questions about his role, access, and background. The questions get more precise, but the answers don't follow that same clarity. As Crow keeps pressing, the exchange turns tense, with both sides talking past each other at times. It quickly becomes less about policy and more about accountability and what's really happening behind the scenes. Subscribe to the channel, and let's get to the video.
Timothy Parlatore served as your private attorney, correct?
Correct.
And Mr. Parlatore also served as private attorney for President Trump's campaign, correct?
I'm not privy to every professional position that he's held.
Well, I'll help you out. He did. And you appointed Mr. Parlatore as your senior advisor, correct?
He does reserve duty on behalf of the Navy.
His title is senior
work.
as an advisor. You gave him that title, correct?
And I would count him as very much an advisor of mine.
Yep. He travels with you, correct?
Tim Parlatore has been a long-term friend. He's a great patriot.
He travels with you. That's not what I asked. I
Serves the
reclaim my
country,
time.
and
He
he's an
travels
excellent
with you,
military
doesn't he?
lawyer.
He travels with you, doesn't he? Correct? There's public Instagram that shows this. Just say yes.
Yes, of course.
Okay. He sits in meetings with you and advises you, doesn't he?
He sits in some meetings on occasion.
Well, he maintains a desk in an office in the Pentagon, does he not?
I'd have to check.
You don't know?
It's a big Pentagon.
You directly commissioned Mr. Parlatore in the Naval Reserve as a Navy commander in March 2025, did you not?
I was very proud to do so.
And when you did, because he's a Navy Reserve officer, he didn't have to go through the PPO process, the White House Presidential Personnel Office, right? He wasn't vetted by a White House PPO.
Oh. Uniformed service members don't get vetted by...
The answer is yes. He didn't have to be vetted by a White House PPO. He didn't go through the Senate confirmation process either, did he? The answer is no.
I don't know what you're getting to, but Tim is a fantastic...
I'll tell you what I'm getting to. The answer is no, right?
He does great work.
Okay. He didn't maintain a security clearance when you appointed him as special advisor. Is that right?
I'd have to check.
You don't know?
I mean, anybody that has access to sensitive material is going to have the appropriate clearance.
Okay, so when you appointed him as special advisor, he had a security clearance?
You're trying to piece together a timeline.
No, I'm asking a simple question. One of your special, most sensitive advisors, did he have a security clearance?
No, you're playing a gotcha game like you do on TV and everywhere else. You're trying to thread together details that are connected about something else.
Clearly, you're concerned about my line of questioning, aren't you, Mr. Secretary? Because you know where it's going, don't you? I think you do. So, does Mr. Parlatore represent foreign governments? He has a private law practice, does he not?
From what I understand of his law practice, he does a lot of great work for service members in the military and other...
He maintains a private law practice. Does he represent foreign governments or foreign persons in that private law practice?
I don't know.
You don't know. Somebody who's sitting in your meetings, a special advisor, you don't know. Does he represent any senior officers who are currently under consideration for promotion by you or your office?
The only person that makes determinations about senior officers is me.
Answer the question. Does he represent senior officers who are under consideration for promotion by you?
No, I'm the one that makes decisions about choosing.
Does he represent them, Mr. Secretary? Does he represent them?
He doesn't represent anyone. He's a legal advisor and always has been.
But he has clients, does he not?
He's a legal advisor to me on reserve duty, and he always has been, and he does a fantastic job.
Is it true that Mr. Parlatore was removed? I reclaim my time. Is it true that Mr. Parlatore was removed from an investigation by the White House last year?
I don't know what you're referring to, but not that I'm aware of.
You're not aware of it? Was it true that you were also removed from that same investigation? The answer is yes.
No, not that I'm aware of.
You're not aware of it. That's interesting. Well, is it true that Mr. Parlatore disparaged President Trump?
I don't know what you're referring to, but no.
Is it true that Mr. Parlatore was accused by President Trump and his lawyers of lying?
What you're accused of is a cute line of questioning that's going nowhere.
Well, it's going somewhere, which is why you're not answering the question. Was it true that he was accused of lying by the president's legal team?
I'm not familiar to. You'd have to give me the context.
Well, it's right
of that
here.
article,
You want to look at the statement from President
anybody
Trump's
could blow
legal
up
team?
a quote and claim it says something, and that's what you're doing in a little stunt.
Secretary Hegseth, what I'm really concerned about is you purport to have unfaltering loyalty to President Trump, and yet you are continuously going.
Oh, you care a lot about President Trump, don't you?
You are
This
going
is a
behind
cute
his back
waste of your 5
and
minutes.
appointing
A
people.
huge,
I reclaim my
cute
time.
waste of your 5 minutes that
I
led
reclaim
nowhere.
my time. You are
not pass
repeatedly
go,
going
do not
behind the
collect
president's
Gentlemen
Gentleman
back.
from Colorado's time. Go ahead, Mr. Carl.
You are repeatedly going behind President Trump's back, appointing people who he is accused of lying, who the White House is
Gentleman's
accused of
time's
lying.
expired. The
And you are
chair now
not being
recognizes
honest with
the gentlelady
President
from
Trump.
South Carolina, Ms. Mace.
Now that you've seen that exchange, it's worth slowing down and looking at what actually just happened. Because this wasn't just a back and forth about one advisor. Representative Jason Crow wasn't asking random questions. He was building a line, piece by piece, trying to show how someone close to the defense secretary could be operating with real influence without going through the usual checks. Notice how he kept tightening the questions. First, it's about the relationship, then the role, then access, then security clearance, then outside work. Each step is meant to narrow the space for a vague answer. And every time the question gets sharper, the response shifts away from a direct yes or no and moves into broader statements or deflection. That's not accidental. In hearings like this, controlling the frame matters just as much as the answer itself. On the other side, Pete Hegseth is doing something just as deliberate. He avoids confirming details that could create a clean headline or lock him into a specific position. Instead, he leans on general language, pushes back on the premise, and questions the intent behind the questioning. At one point, he even calls it a gotcha game, which is a signal to the audience watching that he's not accepting the setup being presented to him. What makes this exchange stand out is how quickly it moves from facts to credibility. Crow is essentially saying, you're putting someone in sensitive positions without clear accountability, while Hegseth is responding with, you're trying to build a narrative that isn't accurate. Those are two completely different fights happening at the same time. And then there's the bigger picture. This isn't just about one advisor or one meeting. It's about how decisions are being made inside the Pentagon, who has influence, and whether the normal processes are being followed. When those questions don't get clear answers, it leaves space for doubt, and that's exactly what hearings like this tend to expose. At the end of the day, nobody really wins an exchange like this in the moment. What matters is how it's interpreted afterward, by the public, by the media, and by other lawmakers. One side walks away saying they uncovered something worth looking into. The other walks away saying they shut down a weak line of attack. The truth usually sits somewhere in between, but the tension you saw comes from both sides, knowing exactly what's at stake. If you found this breakdown useful, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stick around for more moments like this.